Yeah, you ready?
Yeah, he's coming in. He's coming in now.
Oh, here he is.
There he is. Okay, come sit over here.
Right here. Hey,
on,
nice
guys?
to see you. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Okay, let's get it started.
Go under your shirt.
Thanks for coming on today.
I'm gonna be a James Bond today. Not today. I am the James Bond. Here, all good.
Perfect. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Welcome back to Career Day. Today we have Mindaugas Vaitkunas.
Welcome.
Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me here. You know, beautiful California, Woodland Hills, nice weather. Everything is, excited.
So today, first off, we're going to start off with your profession, your age, where you're from. Can you give a little background to everything about you?
Definitely, my man. So, my name is Mindaugas. I'm 24 years of age. That's my body, but my mind is probably 120 years old. And, I've been fighting since 11 years old, and really got into fighting. And not just because, to make necessary money. I thought just something that gets me into the stage where it bumps my confidence, and keeps me always in shape. And since the very beginning of the earth, man was always about to conquer the land. I was just really into being of some kind of gladiator in a perspective of obviously just fighting. So it really helped me to develop the character, and it developed the person that I am right now. So nice. I'm a MMA champion and king of the cage, absolute grappling European champion, and entrepreneur at the moment. So it's been a great journey, great experience. And just overall, everything was super excited for myself since I moved to the United States. And
when did you move here? Where are you from?
So originally North Europe, Lithuania, that little country. At the moment, we used to be very big in medieval times, 1300s, 1200s, and when we had a king. His also name was Mindaugas. That's why my parents named me Mindaugas to honor our family ancestor, who was the first Grand Duke to become king, and that's why my name is so unique and so attractive, and it helped me develop my personality overall in fighting, and I certain that every man should train at least and be in a good shape, in a good physique. I think that's very attractive and really helps you to do anything that you want to do in life.
And did you have like a mentor that kind of got you into fighting?
Yeah, so the short story is I was kind of a rebellious kid when I was in a high school, jumping from one school to another, and so my parents decided to put me with this coach, this karate coach, and give me some discipline, and everything just started from that coach. We had he was a mentor at that moment.
That's when the love of it started.
Yeah, he showed me all the self-defense stuff, which probably don't really work, but it
was a good base for what you're doing now.
Yes, it started bumping my confidence, and I just got addicted of overall how I feel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now that you are fighting consistently, what does a typical day consist of for you? Like training, eating, what do you do throughout your day to day?
That's a good question. It's all brutal. It's all, you have to always stay in shape, meaning obviously I like the nutritional part. Always eat clean, and take care of my body. But the training part is, it could be brutal, which a lot of new coming guys, They think as hard as you train, as better you would be. That's not necessarily true. My standpoint is as smart as you train, as better you could be. So I think the best fighters right now are the smartest fighters, not necessarily who trains hard. Everyone trains now hard. Let's put it that way. You know, it's who can be the, you know, make the best decision at the moment, and you know, knows and always can predict what his next move gonna be, no matter overcome.
Yeah. So your day to day, you wake up, probably work out. How many workouts a day, a week? Is your life pretty much revolving around fighting currently? Because I know we were talking about earlier that you have upcoming fights and you've fought previously, recently. So start to finish, what's your day look like when you're training?
Yeah, so that's very, you know, one of the misleading points is like, you know, the fighters, and I think that's the biggest mistake when fighters think that, you know, if they fight, they cannot do any other things, which is completely misleading. And the smartest fighters in the world, they fight, they train, but they still do other things. Because think of it, it's like the training, you know, maybe let's say at the most 2 sessions, 2 hours. So, you know, let's say that takes, you know, 4 hours of your time. Then, you know, you eat an hour, and then you can do something else. Invest in yourself, invest in other things while you get rest and
other
prepare for it.
That probably,
yeah.
like,
so
better yourself for.
Yeah, well, you technically invest in something that, you know, helps you to make another source of living.
Yeah.
Most of the, you know, smartest fighters in the world, we can even, you know, bring Conor McGregor. You know, he made a bunch of money of fighting, but
he has the liquor company
yes,
too. Yeah.
and that's when other fighters start doing the same thing. They start investing in another great fighter, George Masvidal. He invested in his tequila company. You know, another fighters invested, you know, in let's say in cannabis business, another business. You have time, and it actually helps you to kind of enjoy and relax from fighting part, and makes you better. Because if you just all, you know, focusing and not really helping yourself to enjoy and relax, I don't think you're gonna do as good as you can do.
That makes sense. Yeah. So, I know your previous fights have gone well. What have been kind of your most memorable moments from fighting recently from your professional career?
Yeah, so my last fight was King of the Cage.
When was this? Was it recently?
No, it was in 2019.
Okay.
2019. So the most, you know, enjoyable moment, well, the fight ended that I choked the guy out. He didn't have enough time to tap, so he kind of passed out. And the most enjoyable moment is not seeing him like unconscious, but actually looking at his girlfriend's face and his coaches and his corner. You know, I was just enjoying of his, like, you know, tremendous loss and my glory at the moment, and looking in their faces. It was really enjoyable.
Yeah. So your last
sounds
fight,
a little bit you know, crazy, but that's, you know, that's the game, and it's a sport. It's not a street fighting.
Yeah.
I just enjoy my
enjoy
achievements,
winning, like,
and I enjoy other losses, other people's losses. You know, which because I put a work in, came in, and I destroyed a guy.
Yeah. It's from what you put in, you enjoy winning because you know that your work has paid off.
Correct, correct. And that's, you know, one of the things that a lot of people misleading is like, oh, you're a fighter, so only thing you learn is, you know, how to swing or, you know, punch and stuff. That's completely misleading. You know, I learned a lot of things from fighting. It's taking care from yourself, smart training, you know, making, you know, implementing leadership skills, you know, how you communicate with your coaches, with your teammates, how you pick and choose your teammates, because you need to train and choose your partners So there's some, scumbags, partners, they always try to kill you, and that's fine. That's always with what's happening with me. Everyone tried to kill me in the gym, because I actually like to be a little bit entertaining and talk a little bit shit to my training partners, just to kind of keep the entertaining up, and that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
But it's all friendly, at the end of the day, we all shake hands.
Yeah.
We shake sports, and that's all sport. I don't see this going anything outside of the gym or outside of the cage.
Yeah.
It's all in the gym and stays in the gym.
Exactly. No, that makes sense. And as you were saying earlier, as a professional athlete, a lot of other professional athletes, they talk about mindset, leadership, the mental health that comes into it. What are your thoughts on like leadership as with your other training partners and your coach? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah. So, leadership, it seems, is not an important aspect, but it's actually a very important aspect in everything you would do related to fighting or anything related, to any business. It's very important to implement that skill. It's the most important skill, I would say, leadership and communication, which you have to learn on yourself or find a mentor or someone that could guide you towards learning those skills. And it really helps you to communicate. And obviously, the leadership is not about just telling what to do. That's misleading.
Yeah. How does it help you in your fighting career?
Yeah. So it's how you can communicate and teach your coaches where they know how you perform at your best. They know where you're good, where you're bad, and how make you push at certain times and when give you a rest. So that's a very important aspect of leadership, is knowing when your team or anything you would go in combat or anything related to leadership, knowing when you need to give your team a rest or when you need to really push them, and making sure they detach to every single situation that could come up. Maybe I'm in the worst grappling situation in the fight, and then I know I still don't lose my confidence, and I don't lose.
You need to keep your head up and know that.
Yeah. Because we were drilling 100 times, and I just.
You've been there before.
Correct.
Don't lose your cool.
Correct.
And kind of stick with it.
Yeah. Someone needs to take, the role of perfection. So.
Yeah. So as for like mindset, when you are training for a fight, how do you think that differs from other professional athletes, fighters versus other professional athletes when you're getting ready for a fight? Because other athletes are not going in literally trying to kill the other person versus you guys are. Yeah. How would you say your mindset versus say a professional basketball player or someone else like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, it's individual sport, and it's a combat. You go there, to kill each other. And the most, important aspect is that, you can't blame nobody else besides yourself. If you lose, you win. If you win, you take all the glory, achievement to yourself. If you lose, you cannot blame your teammates or, your coaches technically. It's all on you. So that brings a lot of pressure. You can have the worst day in playing basketball, but your team can still win.
Yeah.
And you can still have the same glory, the same achievements as your team, but regardless that you have the worst day, the worst day you play basketball or football, whatever it would be, the team sports. In fighting, you can't. I mean, you have a bad night, you get to knock the fuck out. So it's as simple as that. You have to be ready and really be calm and conscious to focus on yourself and not being too stiff and really make your stress and kind of anxiety convert into excitement. As more excited you can be during most stressful situations in life, the more you can perform, the better you can perform. So and fighting is not about just fighting good. It's all about performing. It's all comes into how you talk, how you behave, how you treat other fighters, how you entertain. So it's all about performing. It's a sport, so it comes all the aspects. Some fighters can really good perform at the gym, and some fighters suck at the gym, but when they go perform, they do some crazy amazing things, and they're just good at it because they know how to handle the pressure and stressful. That's where I think I'm a very unique person in that way, where I don't get stressed that much as the regular fighters, in certain situations.
How do you handle the stress, the anxiety going into a fight, not to get too excited, not to get too down, how to keep yourself up? How do you handle that yourself?
Yeah, so it all started when I went to military. I spent 4 years. We had a crazy, leadership guys when we were new. When I was a new, when I was new cadet in the military academy, and they really pushed us hard and put us down into really, deep holes, and fought, tried to break us pretty much,
It's a good backbone to what you're doing now.
Yes, yeah. They really tried to break us. We have sort of crazy rules. I can go have another podcast just on the military experience I had, So the end of the day, it basically push you to where, any other related aspect of stress or depression, which I don't really believe really helps you to control that, and all that depression is all fake. People say, oh, I'm depressed because my life is shit. No, your life is shit because you're depressed. So and that all depression is just some chemical that comes into your mind, and it's all about how you make a best decision when it comes to being depressed, which it's just a chemical in your mind. So it's okay to be depressed, but you kind of the right decision. You still have to do whatever you need to do. You can't use this as an excuse, which a lot of people do it at our current decade. They use this as an excuse. I might be depressed, but I just refuse.
You have to get your stuff done.
I refuse. I still still go train, still go to a Starbucks looking hot as fuck, and drive my car, go train with the world champions, hang out with my girls, and enjoy just the life. I don't really care if, something happens. I still do what I was supposed to do because I know the right decision.
Yeah.
And everyone does, but they just want to take the easy way. And that's what the fighting really taught me is, how to not taking shortcuts and really try to handle all the pressure and all, depression that we use now.
And so for everyone trying to get into this profession, fighting, what advice would you give them? The pros and the cons of kind of what you do.
Yeah. So my biggest advice would be try to find something else besides fighting and implement in the fighting. So invest yourself in not just fighting, but something that could potentially help you fighting. Like as I mentioned, like other fighters have other businesses that they start little by little, building something during their career and during their fighting. So they're gonna help you make more money, be more secure, and not really just rely on the fighting, which technically you do. But as I said, I think you have much more time than just train.
Yeah. So you think once they should kind of leverage their fighting career and maybe make something out of that?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Make the name, and they can always get sponsors, advertising, and any other additional income. But having something on the side as your personal business is always going to be very helpful, just to keep you secure and more confident of on the fighting aspect. So you wouldn't just rely on the fighting.
Yeah. And so for the people that want to like start training and stuff like that aren't really into it but want to pick up the sport, do you have like the good and the bad of what the sport is like, how it's been good and bad to you?
I wouldn't say it was bad. It was all good. because I take anything was bad, I take as a good, you know. So I think there's a lot of worth of trying, and a lot of people think that they're gonna start training and everyone is gonna try to kill them, which is completely, you know, misleading point. There's, you know, amateurs, all 70 years old guys, 60 years old. You go train, everyone is, you know, friendly, not like me, and and you know, really try to help each other and boost that, you know, confidence of everything, you know, that not, regardless of what you do in life, you know, and you always have time, you know. I've been you know, since I moved to the United States, I haven't had any, I didn't have car. I had a very good roommate. You know, I used to take long walks to college. Then from college, 30, 40 minutes walk to the gym. Then, you know, train, 40 minutes walk back to the house, still enjoy time with my girls, go to the college, do all the, you know, homework and
it's like time management.
Yeah, I mean, it's all that excuse that is, I have no time, that's complete bullshit.
Yeah. And so, well, now you have time to kind of shout yourself out. Anything you'd like to say, anyone else? Shout out your social medias, any upcoming fights, anything like that you'd like to say?
So I'm gonna actually I'm already started a new channel, which is called Vaitkunas Confidential in YouTube. And that's gonna go quickly into, you know, my kind of lifestyle, my parts of what I do and what I will do in the future. So I kind of keep that confidential. That's why it's Vaitkunas Confidential. So, you know, as soon as you click subscribe, and as soon as you follow me on Instagram, which is m.vaitkunas, you will find some interesting stuff.
Perfect. Any upcoming fights?
Soon, I would say end of the April, something like in those lines.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep.
I really appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
And we will see you next time. Thank you for listening in.